It was an amazingly nice day yesterday. We got a ride in. I can't believe how variable the weather's been. Today it dropped right back down to being cold and the wind is howling and everything. But the paint had an extra day to dry. It should buff out beautifully today. Should be no problem at all. And we'll do a little experiment with that, of course. And we'll be able to, I hope, sometime today or in the next day or so, get the seat back on this bike. We got to do a couple other little maintenance items here, and all we're waiting for really is the valve stem to do the front wheel, and Chris's bike should be done. Actually, we'll be well on the way to doing it by the end of this day. So hope that valve stem comes in the mail today, but even if it doesn't, we'll get the seat done. Now, one of the things I still have to do on this project before I go is I wanted to do a little cleanup, a little more cleanup on the guts inside by the engine and everything before I start the assembly. But what I've been doing is I've been trying to wait for a rainy day or a day that I know it's that I'm definitely not going to do any work outside or painting. And we still have some painting to do on Vlad's stuff. This bike is ready for his get ready for spring cleanup, and not much to do, but there's always something that some bolt heads or something that rust over the winter, and we'll get him cleaned up because he's the next, well, after that restoration year last year, now I plan on riding it until the day I die. I know some of my friends and people in general like to flip bikes around, change them out, get new ones, get different ones. I have my evil twin thing that I like to do to the bikes, and I like to, it's about the time of the year I got to start doing it too, is I pick one day and it's rainy or it's too cold to ride or whatever, and I'll pull a bike out and give it the spring cleaning, just like mowing the grass and pulling the weeds. But actually this year the bikes didn't take too much of a beating because we didn't have any real super cold month or anything. We had a pretty mild winter, not a California winter, but, and I did get to ride almost all the bikes throughout the winter, so whenever I do ride them, of course, they get a couple hours of cleanup after a ride. And they're all pretty much ready to go. All we really need is the weatherman to say, oh, it's 60 degrees out. 60, boy. You won't even need a coat at 60. And maybe at some point in time I'll show my little cleanup technique. But in the spring, when I know I'm going to be riding every day, and we should be coming up on the end of the restoration season, the assembly of that is a pretty much straightforward thing to do. But I want to get all the other shop projects cleaned up. But the biggest thing I want to do this morning is have that cup of coffee. It's time to get this day started. And it's really not as warm out there as I thought it would be. I'm sure the birds will be happy when summer finally gets here, and they don't have to be on my my feeding program. Oh, we love feeding these guys in the morning. For some reason that coffee always tastes better when you're riding at R1. This is from the ride yesterday. When I look back at the footage, I couldn't believe what a nice day this turned out to be. And it's just perfect sitting around having a cup of coffee and reliving it over and over again here. We really did have a good day. I love the sound of that cross-plane. Cross-planing and coffee. And this is such a nice area. Even the scenery around the lakes. This is around Faison Lakes. A real nice area.
I like this bike. I like it more than the time before. I've got it set up just
that was a... What morning would be complete without oogling some parts? Once I get these oogling done, and I'll get ready to work on Chris's R6 seat. Possibly get that seat put back on the bike today. Oh boy, we'll be in good shape then. Now, oogling is a major thing. You can't do quality work without doing a little oogling. Just ask Dallas, he'll tell you. You got to pet noses, change battery tenders, and an awful lot of oogling. Then you can do quality work. Okay, because we gave this an extra day of dry time, this should be ready. Now I'm going to take some 2000 grit sandpaper. You can see, if you're really fussy about this, you can see the dust in the paint now. I'm sure this would not be a big deal to do this. These two parts should take less than an hour to do. But I don't want to leave that dust in the paint. And I don't want to have the orange peel, because this is going to be a visible, I'm only going to do the visible parts of this. there's no point doing under the seat. This part you see, this part you see, and around the edge you see, and especially around the back. So we got maybe an hour of wet sanding, and it'll change the whole look of the part. So step one is 2000 grit paper, soapy water. I'll do one little spot. It doesn't matter what spot. There is a lot of dust in this because the day we put the clear on, of course, whenever you do anything, the wind starts to blow. It's just the way it is. There's just nothing you can do about it. I always like to do, for the benefit of new subscribers and people that might not have been involved in our channel before, they have no idea what we do on this channel. Well, I like to always show the first part in real time. I don't like to show camera cuts. From that point on, we can put things in fast forward or in some way make it more entertaining to watch. You always have to sit through that first one. That's a real time, showing how long it takes to get the dust out of the paint and the orange peel. Now it's a giant thing in our benefit that we had that riding day yesterday, and that was a great ride, by the way. Facing Lakes is a great area to ride up there. I love that area. But here's the whole thing. Once you get this flat, we'll get the 8065 out, and this should buff up beautifully. Had we done it one day sooner, it would still buff out, but it would take a little longer. Now, this is a good thing I can show. Let me put this down, because this is what we try to share on the channel, good information. Let me get the camera off the tripod and show this close to show where we need a little extra work. This takes a minute, but there are no camera cuts. Now, as I'm block sanding, you can see little shiny spots. Means I gotta sand some more. Out here in the corner, this part here is fine, but I would like to have no shiny spots. And soon as I have it flat, there's no point sanding anymore, because then I may as well go back right down to plastic. So what I'm saying is, knowing when to quit, it's good to wipe it every once in a while and just see that you've gotten the amount you need off. Now I'll do a little extra sanding around the edge, carefully around here, but then the final thing, you're only going to see up to about here. So I want to get this as nice as possible. That's the whole thing, is to get this nice. And then we'll buff this out. The bottom, we'll just, there's no real problem. We can get this all the visible parts of this to just be a little extra nice. So once this side is done, this side is ready for buffing. I wanted to show the comparison of what you see in any kind of new paint that isn't buffed. There's always some little dust. This is dust from painting, some little overspray. And it only takes maybe an hour to do a part to bring it up to where it can be buffed. And we'll do the other part off camera. This is going to be just one little extra thing. I'll make the bike, I think, just a little bit nicer, and without spending a whole lot of time or money. And the biggest part of this job is you just gotta just knuckle down and just do it. It's like digging a hole, planting corn, who knows what. But it's not a super high-tech thing, how to get this paint to be really nice. And because that's one of the passions I have, along with motorcycling and model planes and whatever, I really enjoy sharing the information that I've learned over 50+ years. And if you decide you like Rust-Oleum better, well, nobody's going to hate you for that. Rust-Oleum it is. It's just, there's no substitute. Just let it dry at least a week before you put clear over Rust-Oleum. And Luciano's had some pretty good luck with that, but you can't put the clear on right away, so it adds about a week to the job if you're going to put clear on it. Anyway, we're going to get the rest of this part sanded. I'm looking to see how this paint's going to buff up. And we actually will probably have time, I know we'll have time, to get the seat back on Chris's R6. And then the only thing we got left is that tire valve. Now both of the sides here pretty much ready for buffing. We want to get out the 8065, see if this paint is truly ready to be buffed. And one of the products we've had really good luck with, the 4CR 8065. This is just a good combination, the way we've done it with 2000 grit and DASA. And the 8065, the buffing becomes, I think, pretty predictable and relatively easy. And that's why we try to share it on the channel. Well, there's no secret what has to happen. We just got to hang out for a few minutes and let the buffer do its magic. Now, if I can just show one little spot here without a camera cut, I think the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. Because one of the things I always am interested in, I see people using a product on TV, and they say, oh, it only took a minute to do that. Well, I want to see it take a minute to do it. I guess I'm just skeptical, I don't know. Now, it's in our favor that we do have that extra day of buffing time, that's for sure. And I'm always skeptical about buffing paint out before it's fully dry a few days. Even though they say you can do it, even people that know what they're doing say you can do it. But every time I try my test, and I try to do it the next day, I spend all day buffing it. Where, if I do it my way, well, hopefully it's going to be a little bit better. We're going to see. Well, I got the first part for the seat buffed out, and it's time. Karen's got a bunch of errands for me to run, but that's no problem at all. We'll come back, get the second piece done, and it's actually turning out to be a halfway decent day, so it's all going to work in our favor eventually. So we caught an unexpected break today. Karen has decided to do errand day with Stacy, so frees me up for a little more polishing or motorcycle work or whatever. And it's going to be a good day. I think I'll just try to finish this seat up, because we should get the valves tomorrow, and they'll let me finish the project. So this little tail section part is going to be a little bit tricky, because I can't use the block on it. It's all little corners and angles and edges, and I don't want to buff through. So I'm going to be real delicate when I sand this out. And of course, real careful when I buff it out. But hey, catching a break today. So normally I always take Karen on all the errand days. She never goes alone, because she doesn't really drive anymore for all purposes. So what happens is, whenever Stacy, our daughter, is available, it frees me up for some time. Actually, it was unexpected. I didn't expect that. I was getting ready to go, in fact. Brewing more coffee. Anyway, once the whole part's flat, we'll run the buffer over it, and we'll be ready to put the seat back on the bike. So the next step on this today is I want to put the seat back on. I have replaced a couple of the fasteners, some of the little, luckily I had extra ones, and we'll try to tidy this up as much as we can. I think this is going to be really, when she sits on this, because of anybody that knows what it's like, have to be up on your tiptoes when you pull up to a light. It's not fun. Now the R6 seat is a little tricky to get on for one reason, is I don't want to spread this so far that looks like it's okay. I don't want to break any parts on this. That'll go there. Line that up. It's really tricky when you go to put this on. These 4 bolts have to line up at the same time you have all the screws in the back lining up, which this is no problem, but there's one under here that still has to line up. And the problem is if you go to just force it, there's all those little delicate tabs. I don't want to break anything. But what I wanted to try to do is put all these parts in. Basically, these are things that have to go in hand tight. And I don't want to force anything in. These have to get open so that the Phillips screw head is up above. Then they get inserted in all the way, and then you press them down. Now when I went to even up all the bodywork, I realized this piece here from the crash had been bent down. So there was quite a gap, maybe a 1/4 of an inch gap here. So what I'm going to try to do is try to get, now I'm trying to figure out, yeah, that's bent quite a bit. I can feel how much it's bent. Is get this bent up just enough that I can seal that gap. Even though there's a little piece missing, there's a piece missing there. But I know she doesn't want to spend another amount of money to get the bottom piece of this. But she always could if she wanted to. But that's another expense. But anyway, what we will try to do is get this piece bent up and see if we can seal that bodywork up just a little bit better. Now remember, this bike crashed on this side. I do remember doing some of the repairs on this from the original crash. This has always been bent. So this, now we'll try to get it. Now, I'm not sure how much good this is going to do, but we can go back and forth until we get it just right. Actually, what I could do is lay a straight edge and then measure down until I have it real close. But I can do this by eye, I think, just as good. Now, I tweaked this several times, and I'm referencing off of the frame itself that I have the same amount of clearance, and that's about a 1/4 of an inch, and I'm below that. This would still come up just a little bit, because this part holds the frame lock and everything all together at one time. And now that part fits a whole lot better, even though we do have that little piece missing on the other side. Nothing we can do about that unless you replace that part. And that is a giant part of the motorcycle. I'm not sure that's even worth replacing, because it's not something you see right away. The next piece of this will go in here. And we got to hook up all the fasteners and get this piece to snap on. The whole idea is get it to snap on without cracking it. There we go. And that goes up in there. And we got the fasteners that go around here. And we'll be ready to put the seat on. Now we're coming down the home stretch on this. This is not a Phillips. And as the fasteners that were missing, there were a couple broken and a couple missing. I have to look in my supply and see if I might have a few. I don't know. If I don't, Motorcycle Mall is right down the block. A really good lesson learned is anytime you work on something, never throw the screws or the fittings, or save everything. Because you never know a day like today comes, and here you are trying to do a mitzvah for somebody, and we need 2 of those little Zeus fittings. Here's one. Look at this, how lucky we are. Whoa! And here's another one. We got 2. We could use 4 to be perfect. Here's 3. Oh, Chris, it's your lucky day. Chris, I hope you appreciate that. This is like, hey, here's no, that's not it. It's not the one we need. You know what happened when this is funny. When I went, the first time I took the fairing off the R1, I was short one fitting. It was on the rug. Who the hell knows where it was? And I went to Motorcycle Mall and bought one. It was like $3. Then I went to Lowe's and I saw they have the exact same thing for 15 cents. I said, holy mackerel, I ought to buy 10 of them extra. Well, now today, it's proven to be a good thing because we do have some extra ones. Now, I remember when I took this apart, wondering if I was going to have the extra fitting. That has to be pushed flush before you twist it. And luckily, we got it. Not exactly the same as the R1, but similar. All these tangs have to go in their slots. And there it is. Working out well. I am still short one little fitting. That I will be in Motorcycle Mall or Lowe's. I'll go to Lowe's. I'm going to buy a half a dozen extra ones because there's nothing loose there now. You can move the whole bike like that. And I think the one that's missing, there's 4 and we're just missing 1. It's not a problem. But I'll take care of that and I'll bring it up to Perry's and just pop it in whenever next time I see her. She's on the road. And this seat is exactly like an R1 is, so this has to go hang in there. Once that's in, easy to do it from this side. Line up the bolts. Now every part of this, I think, is just, this was a good repair. That the thing that's missing, if I had that tire valve today, I could work on it today, but I can't. I have the afternoon off because of, well, I'm going to look through some of the footage while I have the time. Some of that RD footage, it's proven to be very popular with my friends. They love seeing the old RDs, everybody, Luciano especially, loves those old RDs. Dallas sent me a funny story about his experience with RDs. I'll clean that up, and boy, that's good to go. Now, as I'm looking around, this went as good as I could have ever expected. And again, I think that the bike is rock solid safe. Nothing's going to come off here. And what a shame we don't have that tire valve today, but I'm sure it'll be here tomorrow. Because Chris works for FedEx and we can't get a delivery. Maybe it's not coming by FedEx. Who the hell knows? But anyway, she did not like the gold valve that they had. She ordered black ones. I don't know what she's sending here, but we'll find out tomorrow. Anyway, this was a really productive day. I didn't know how long this was. A job like this, you never know if it's going to take 10 minutes or 4 hours. You can't tell. And I didn't know, this is like I always say, I don't like Groundhog Day. I was slated to take Karen for a couple hours of errands, and luckily Stacy stepped up today, freed me up. But what a nice thing to have this bike that I hope she's going to have many, many years of really enjoyable ride. This will be more enjoyable. I can't wait to see the smile on her face when she rides it with that seat just a little bit lower. And as I'm looking at it, I'm wondering if there ever was, they don't make, I know they don't make it, but that somebody makes a lower seat for this you really can't. It's only an inch. I guess the lower seat is you leave the seat off and just ride on a frame or something. Maybe that isn't what she really wants. But anyway, I don't want to go on and on and on. I do have some time this afternoon, so I'll look through all those old DVDs and see if I can come up with some RD footage to put at the end of this. And if I don't, then this is the end of the video, and thanks for watching. Nice carbon fiber work on this. Nice carbon fiber parts. Turbo bike here. Look at the paintwork. That's nice, huh? See what they do. They make the swinging arm a lot longer, so that they drag race, of course.
Yeah, this really gives them more stability.
Chrome frame. Look at the artwork on the tank, Rich.
Yeah, yeah.
Extra wide back tire.
This guy came from Florida. Boy, he's got a lot of money in this.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The size of this tire.
I'm looking at some of the paintwork here, some of the artwork. Now we just saw it. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it before. Somebody riding around the track with a passenger on the back. I'm not sure what that's about.
I thought you were standing right next to me.
Ah! The bikes have the clear gas tank. You can look down and see all the... It's really an airbox. Well, I think what we really should have done is rent a plane and like we did at Brodax and just fly over here, get some photos. But Speed Vision. This race will be on Speed Vision anyway. There's a nice exhaust pipe. Looks like machine guns. Triumph. What's that?
You see that CB750 up front?
No. Where is it?
It's right over there. It's a yellow tank. One.
This four-cylinder Honda.
Oh yeah. Our super bike. Same thing.
Yep. That's a nice. That's in real nice
One
condition.
up there has a yellow tank. See it over here?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like the aerodynamics.
See that drum brakes front of that?
It's a 74, made in February 74. What year was your KZ? 78, okay. That is really nice shape.
Yeah. Well, this other one is too. You get on the.
What year is this? Can you tell?
Well, I have to look on the.
That's an 83. I got to look at the head to know the difference.
I think it says it right on the land, right? Is that an 83?
Oh, he's got Q plates too. Okay, so it's definitely, well, it definitely is. You got to look at the headstock. I just got my Q plates for an 82, so I'm all excited.
Honda?
No, a Suzuki, a GS 1100. I'm all excited, and I'm seeing there's 20 of them here, you know.
That's exactly what my bike is.
Look on the track now. Why? We can't see it from here. Watch, he's going around.
Yeah, I know. I saw the guy
There's two
behind
people on the bike. Now, what's that all about? There's two people on the bike.
How about two?
I don't know about you. I really don't like it.
It's a Kawasaki.
But it's the same color, isn't it?
See, a lot of the guys have those stomp grip pads on. I noticed an awful lot of them.
Yamaha.
Oh, definitely. I like that pipe. That pipe, that looks like a thing of a diesel truck or something. Paint is nice too.
In this too.
Yeah, nice seat.
Look at the fuel tank.
Yeah.
He's carrying a 55.
Yeah, that's a Yamaha.
He's carrying 55 gallons.
Yeah, that's nice. The wheels, those are custom wheels
The
too.
intakes here.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's what you should get, Rich.
Oh, absolutely. I should
Come
buy
on.
two.
Buy two of them. One for your
One for
wife.
Sunday.
Left leg, one for your right leg.
Yeah, one for Sunday.
Nice trumpet. Nice trumpet, yeah.
The reason I like the KZ 1000 is because it was considered.
Oh, there's some beautiful equipment here.
A lot of power. Just put a simple fairing on it. You had the ability to go fast. Well, that's what this guy is. He's got a sports. Yeah. That's the drawback. That's a 2-inch trailer winch.
Yeah. You can tow a boat with that.
Oh yeah, there's a guy over on that far corner. There's a guy with a. Oh. Sounds like somebody spitting on the sidewalk.
Dangerous.
Did you guys get your name in to win the bike yet today?
Bike or fifth grade? Oh, okay. No, thank you. Thanks for the bike.
Ooh. Hey, Rich, here you go.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There you go. I'll sign it for you. Look, who's that look like? Nice posters too.
Gloves. Schumacher.
Sign. Yeah, the sign's up.
$2.95.
Nice. The V-Rod, right.
Well, you know, a lot of those guys, they don't know when. One of these 4-door.
Whole couple thousand more motorcycles to check out. There's the paint job for your next plane, Rich, right here.
We can buy a hot dog or a Snapple.
So what'd you buy me, Jacobone? Look at the sauces. Holy mac. Nah, that's fish. I can't eat that. So Jacobone finally broke down and bought me a root beer float. What a guy. Rich, you're quite a guy. I don't know what to say. So we found out, though, 2-Up thing, they were taking the newscasters and stuff, taking them for a ride on the track. Look at, he got you a root beer float too, you lucky dogs. We gotta live it up here, baby. Money's no object when it's Jacobone's money. A lot of very, very cool bikes here.
You know, Fiat's going to reintroduce cars to the U.S.
Who?
Fiat.
Fiat.
Oh yeah.
They sponsor the bike that Yamaha runs.
I had an old Fiat 6.
And then Rich said, I'll take it. Wrap it up. Gift wrap it. That's for you, Rich. Look at that face. That's a nice job on that.
Look at the paint job.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Can we get the camera, bro? I rarely find chocolates that I like because there's too much going on, but this...
This is pretty.
Yeah, this is real pretty.
Is this yours?
No, it's not. If it was, I wouldn't be taking pictures. Why not?
Yeah, that is nice.
That is nice. Usually I don't like custom truck because there's too much edging and too much going on,
What
but
are you talking about, Cap?
this is real, real pretty.
Did someone painted it so?
Not too much.
We could paint up your plane like that, Rich, with the mean faces.
Oh, yeah. My next Traeger.
The next Strega you make could be just like that.
I'm going to build another one.
So you think that girl from Lodi was impressed that we were old gentlemen?
You guys.
That hell's babushka's coming in here right now.
popping up right there. There's a shitload out there. I was reading this morning online.
Hey! Speed vision sucks. Sit down.
You guys know where the cameras are. That's
Go Washington. Get them down. Hold on to that. Just warm it up. Okay, we had the warm-up lap. We're waiting for the race. Waiting for the flag to drop.
more cheer than the leader.
Minute and 20 seconds.
Whoa, the guy, whoa, whoa, whoa. The number 2 guy got a little squirrely there.
He's out of it. He raised his hand. He's out of it. He popped the gear right in front of him. That's number 9 right there. That's the guy. I'm trying to get some footage for Ray of Danny Eslick, but that's the best pass yet.
You wouldn't think that at that speed, if they crack it open, they would.
Bye.